Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Darius, aka The Chosen One, here with episode 2 of my spoken word. Um, I shared in my first episode about common sense, and I told you guys that the next video was going to be about knowledge. So, I was doing a little bit of research, and I came across the word knowledge several times in a lot of books, and I every time when I looked up something about knowledge, it was always something new posted. And I mean recently. We know that the word knowledge and that knowledge period is constantly changing. You know, there is always something different about it. You know, what with the whole thing of education constantly changing and evolving, we find new things every day. You know, new things are being taught on a rapid basis. You know, so knowledge is always changing. When you look at the word knowledge, you'll notice its root word, know, which means to understand. It's a capacity to understand. It's to acknowledge. You know, knowledge is defined in Webster's dictionary as understanding gained by actual experience. The second definition about that they defined about knowledge, it really grasped me because in today's society, we don't have a clear understanding of knowledge. We don't have a clear base of knowledge. We live in a world where we're constantly learning new things, but some of the things we are learning are things that we don't really need to know. I mean, who needs to know about how to fire a gun? Who needs to know about how to kill someone? I understand our military go out there and they save our lives every day, but people are learning this during times when they don't really need to know. So knowledge is also about timing. You know, it's about when it's best to learn it. I know growing up, I was faced with several challenges in life. Being height challenged, being, you know, the one kid that always had nice clothes. You would think that the kid with nice clothes would never be picked on, but I did. The one thing I had over my friends was I had intelligence. I had book smart. And thank goodness that I did have that because it served me well in a lot of events in my life. You know, I used to work retail, and I've been working retail for about 3 to 4 years. And I love retail, but I really would like to work with computers. It was thanks to that intelligence that I learned back in school about computers that I was able to advance as far as as I was able to in computers. Um, I've taken information and technology, and I got a B in that class, and I did very well in information and technology. But when I went over to another school, they couldn't transfer the credit over. But there were some credits they didn't take. So, well, there's that. There that goes. I can't do anything about it. But would I take the class again? Yes. Definitely. When you stop and think about the word knowledge, you think of education, you think of smarts. It is definitely 100% associated with what you learn because every day we are learning something different. Webster's dictionary's second definition defines knowledge as clear perception of truth. Now, I like that meaning because I would like to know, what do we today hold as truth? You know, that's a tricky word, truth. What is true and what is false. There nowadays people can define the things that they say as the truth, and they can also define the things that they say as false. The Bible says, "Do not bear false accusations against your enemies." And for those of you that are religious, as myself, you hear that, "Do not bear false accusations against your enemies." So do not tell lies about your enemies. So we have to tell the truth about them. Then I would like to know what is going on with the whole George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin thing. Why are there people coming out here telling lies? And they know that they're lying. This was a mockery from the start. It was something that shouldn't have been done. He know he made a mistake, and that's the reason why he's still hiding. But without that, if he hadn't done what he did, he wouldn't be hiding in the first place. But that's common sense. If he had knowledge and intelligence about this young man, about African Americans, then maybe he would not look at Trayvon Martin as he did. I feel that if the world had been educated more about African Americans, about race, about ethnicity, then I believe the world would not look at life the way it does. There would be more being done for blacks, there would be more being done for Hispanics, there would be more being done for those considered minorities. And African Americans are not the only minorities. Hispanics and Asians are considered minorities too. No matter what country you go to, if you're not of that ethnicity, you're considered a minority. So if I was to go to Japan, then I'm a minority because I'm black. If a Japanese person was to come here to America, they're considered a minority because they're not American. So if the world was more educated and had more knowledge of African Americans and of their struggles and of how race and ethnicity is affected by, the things that we do every day, then I believe Trayvon Martin will still be alive right now. We can't just look at what happened to Trayvon Martin and how he was viciously killed. Because if you stop and think back, there was another young man. The whole thing with Emmett Till. He was killed. But how long did the world focus on that? I feel like in today's society that people try to focus on whatever they can, whatever will feed their time. Do people really care? If they are educated, if they have more knowledge about the situation, I feel that they would be more educated. So, the word knowledge is synonymous with evidence and intelligence. So, knowledge is not just something that's evidential. And in a sense, it's more than that. Knowledge doesn't always have to be something that's visible to see. You can test someone's knowledge. That's they have tests for it. You can know someone's knowledge, how smart they are by the tests that they take, by the things they do in their daily life, by questions you ask them. That's how you can test someone's knowledge. But the word knowledge appears in the Bible 169 times. So knowledge and intelligence, basically smarts, is very important. It's not just important for African Americans, but it's important for whites, it's important for Hispanics, it's important for Asians, it's important for everyone. A lot of people, say, oh, the Asians are better at math than us. That's nothing to brag about. You should be good at math too. But if you train yourself and learn, you'll be good at it. You'll just be as good as an Asian. In the Bible, the word knowledge pops up in Psalms 73. Psalm 73 verse 11. And they say, how can God know? Does the Most High have knowledge? So that's a good question. Does God have knowledge? I know people like to try, and I don't want to just, throw my religion on anyone. But if you was to ask a scientist, how was the whole entire universe created? They couldn't tell you that, could they? They have no base knowledge about how the entire universe itself was created. The only thing they could possibly say was, oh, well, there was a Big Bang. But how did that Big Bang happen? And it goes on and it says in verse 12, this is what the wicked are like, always carefree, they increase in wealth. So, basically, Psalm 73 verse 11 to 12 is basically saying that God is so smart that his knowledge is, you're basically unable to understand it, But on a broader spectrum, from just, basic common sense, there's no way to actually know everything. So since we as man are unable to know everything, that is the main reason why religion was created in the first place. Religion was made to give us something to have as a higher understanding. If we all were back the way we were during the Stone Age, we would be babbling idiots. And that much can be supported. Today's society lacks knowledge. And the reason I say that is because it's evidential. Take a look at a lot of the things that happen now. Killing, drug dealing, rapes, all that stuff. The stuff that if we have had knowledge about how to prevent it, we can prevent those things from happening. I've been faced with situations in my life where my knowledge came in handy. And it was thanks to the fact that I learned that I was able to advance as far as I was. So, because I don't want to just look at this from just a religious standpoint, but no matter what, knowledge is always needed. So join me as I'm going to record episode 3, and I'm going to start talking about wealth. How important is wealth in today's society, and what are people willing to do to gain that? Thank you for taking the time out your schedule to listen to me, to try to educate everyone on, knowledge, on how knowledge is needed in today's society. We as a people, period, black, white, no matter what ethnicity you are, we need to be smarter, and we need to make smarter decisions. The whole George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin, that should not have happened. And even if it was the other way around with Trayvon Martin killing George Zimmerman, that should not have happened. Or that shouldn't happen. But we can't twist the truth and just turn a blind eye towards it. Knowledge is power, people, and knowledge is needed. Thank you.